So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jatin Varu. Today, I'm going to present how Frankenstein is different from that time's work and how it's connected with nowadays cinemas. So, here are my some personal information. It's points to ponder. First of all, we know about writer. Second, about novel, different from that time's work, and now connection with today's work and references. So, we will start with about Mary Shelley. She was born in 13 August 1797 in Somerstown, London. Her father was a radical philosopher. His name was William Godwin. Her mother was a famous defender of women's rights. Her name was Mary Wollstonecraft. She married with famous poet P.B. Shelley in 1816. Mary Shelley is famous for as a author of Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. It was published in 1880. The Modern Prometheus is a subtitle of this novel. Frankenstein is considered as the first true work of science fiction novel. About Frankenstein, as Divya mentioned, she most of covered this topic in her PPT. Now we are getting some brief information about it. Frankenstein, written by Mary Shelley and published in 1880. During the time period of 1797 to 1851, Mary Shelley was staying at Lake of Geneva with Lord Byron, John Polidori, Clary Claremont, and P.B. Shelley. And that time, Byron proposed the group should write ghost stories. The Frankenstein novel was penned at a time when scientists were investigating the possibility to regenerate crops with the electricity. The points explained by this point explained by Mary Shelley in the novel with the help of Victor Frankenstein and his creation. So now we are moving on the main point of my slide. It was how Frankenstein is different from that time's work. The Frankenstein, written by Mary Shelley and published in 1880, it's often considered one of the earliest examples of science and fiction literature. It's different from a work of its time in several ways. The first one is scientific theme. It explores scientific themes like the consequences of playing with nature, which were unusual for its time. Other works were often more focused on love, morality, and adventures. Genre evolution. Frankenstein was one of the first science fiction novels, while most work of that time were in the genre of romance, gothic fiction, and classic literature. Narrative structure. The novel used a unique framing device where the story is told through a series of letters and narratives within a narratives. This was a less conventional structure of this time. Moral, moral dilemmas. The novel raises complex moral questions about the responsibility of the creator towards their creation. This was a relatively new theme in literature and changed the tradition noticed to a good and evil. The most important thing is a female authorship. Another unique except is that Mary Shelley, a woman, wrote this novel. During the early 19th century, female authors were not prevalent in the literature world, making her contribution particularly noteworthy. How Frankenstein is connected from nowadays film. Here I mentioned three reference movie regarding it. The first one is I Robot. It was published in 2004, directed by Alex Poyas. The second was our Bollywood movie. It's a Robot. It was published in 2010, directed by S. Shankar. And the third one is The Avengers: The Age of Ultron, directed by Joel Weldon. Some similarity we can find some similarity between this movie and Victor Frankenstein. Frankenstein, the novel. The first one is loss of control. The creator is this story struggle from maintain control over their creations and struggle with their creation in whole novel and movies like a Robot and I Robot and the Avengers of Ultron. Consequence of playing God. In a Frankenstein, this movie character play the role of creator and face the several consequences of their actions, highlighting the habits of attempting to manipulate life or creator intelligent beings, creation and revolt. In both Frankenstein and the mentioned movie, the creator begins the monster robots and Ultron rebel against their creator of human society. They seek automatic autonomy and challenge the invention of their creators. Conclusion. Overall, Frankenstein stand out for its innovative themes, narrative structure, and exploration of the human condition, making it a unique and enduring work in the literary landscape of its time and beyond. And the second In the second side, Frankenstein continues to be a touchstone for filmmakers, providing rich thematic material that responds with a commentary audience and exploring the boundaries of science and human condition and the consequence of our action. Here are some references of my work, and thank you for your attention. Now, anybody have any question regarding it?
So, Jatin, which is the central point in your comparison? Therefore, you compare Frankenstein with Robert and the Age of Ultron.
According to me, a loss of control is a central point to we compared the Frankenstein novel and the regarding and mentioned this movie Age of Ultron, Robot and I Robot. We can find out Victor Frankenstein loses his control upon the monster, and other side Doctor Vasikaran, who creates a Chitty robot, and he also loses her control upon Chitty, and Age of Ultron, Doctor Tony Stark, I think Tony Stark make a Ultron. Ultron is a software who protect the Earth with aliens attack, and we can find out he also loses control upon Ultron. So this is a main point.
Satin, my question is that why did Mary Shelley write Frankenstein and what was the behind?
During a time period of 1751 to 1797 to 1851, Mary Shelley, Lord Byron, John Polard, P.B. Shelley, they were staying in Lake of Geneva. And that time, Lord Byron was proposed to group to how we write this type of work like a horror and science fiction. So there is my answer. Thank you for your attention.